Welcome back, Central TV. Now we are with the newly elected chairperson of the ANC Youth League in Free State, Mr. Cde Tseletsele. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Monday Sunday viewers.
How are you?
Can't complain. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Congratulations on your election as chairperson of the Youth League.
No, thank you very much on that congratulatory remarks. But we have a lot to do as the ANC Youth League in the province. One of the issues that we need to address is to take back the Youth League to its former glory.
All right. Well, let us go back to the conference. We were under the impression, or at least the whole province was under the impression, that you and Katlaho Mangwejane were contesting each other going head for the position of chairmanship. And then the results of the conference were rather the fact that you won the chairmanship uncontested. Could you please tell us what happened? What were the logistics behind that?
No, in fact, throughout our term as an interim structure, I was appointed as a provincial coordinator. Katleo was appointed as a provincial convener in August 2021. So throughout the 2022 year, we ran regional conferences where we went physically to assess the views of branches, the views of our own structures, regions, and so on. And also within the PCPC, our interim structure, that we had such deliberations as to what type of a youth league must we build. And then in every conference, there is a season of which we call lobbying in the process. Katleo was contesting to be a provincial chair initially. I was also contesting as a provincial chair, supported by regions. But then when we went to our conference in Velkom, our 10th provincial conference, dynamics changed there in terms of numbers, in terms of support and so on. But what we did was to combine all our regions to discuss openly in terms of the leadership that they want. And that's where the battle was won. What happened in the conference was just a confirmation to say Katleo won't be a provincial chair. Instead, we'll just ensure that he become part of a structure. And as we speak today, he is a PEC member of the Youth League. And both of us have got the responsibility to ensure all of those that were supporting us must ensure they rally behind the decisions and resolutions of a conference.
So this is a decision that you sat down and discussed and came to agreement with?
Indeed, it's a decision that was taken by us collectively to say this is the line of march that we envisage to have come the moment of a conference, and it was agreed upon. During the conference, he was nominated to become a provincial chair. He declined it because he knew that he was not going to make it, on the basis that there was a pre-discussion and agreement as to what type of leadership do we want and what that leadership must reflect in terms of the different interests in our regions.
All right. Now, with regards to what you just said, I'm getting a feeling that you were also going for unity, perhaps, as the January 8th statement stated that we must also unite as the youth of Free State. Is that what you are taking as a motto within the Youth League?
Correct. What we intend to do as the Youth League, and we're going to be deliberate on it. One of them is that issues of leadership and so on, they are important, but they are not the primary issues that we need to address. It's secondary. The primary issues that we need to address are the conditions of the youth, the conditions of our membership, the conditions of everyone in general in society as to what is happening. In the province, as we speak, there is no youth organization. We have got that responsibility to build it from the grassroots level up until we conform at least into one vision as to what we want to achieve as the Youth League. And one of the decisions that we have taken is that we are going to provide decisive leadership as well as ensure that we organize our unity for a particular purpose or a particular goal that we want to achieve.
All right. Speaking of the issues of the youth, you know, the youth is faced with issues such as unemployment. We are currently in the process of registrations in varsity. Do you, as perhaps the chairperson of the Youth League in the province, have an input, or are you perhaps trying to help or assist students with regards to matters such as registrations not being accepted or other matters that involve higher education?
Okay. The first thing that we need to clarify is that the system that is utilized in our province and apart and ultimately in our own national discourse or national government is that the system is not necessarily conducive for young people to rise and become successful. This Lekgotla must be utilized to to bring up innovative ways as to how do we decrease unemployment. In our Congress was to say the TVET colleges, they need to be community based and they need to be changed so that they are able to address the necessary skill shortage in the community, the necessary issues that must be able to skill the youth, that must keep the youth busy in community. So we've got a mammoth task as the ANC Youth League, but we are happy that we're in leadership now and we're going to provide that leadership.
That is great. That is great leadership. Now, as the mayor of Jagersfontein, could you please tell us about the 9/11? We understand that there were floods there, mud floods, and people lost lives, other people lost their homes, and the mine actually offered a certain amount of money. How far is the process of getting people back to their normal state of living?
In fact, what we need to also clarify is that the leadership of the ANC must be able to take responsibility in providing leadership in this country, but also leadership in the province. There is what we term private capital, the private owners of our mines, the private owners of companies and so on. Those people in their operation, they are highly reckless because what they are focusing on is only profit or surplus value, but they do not invest in the development of communities. Let me take you back to the 9/11 issue. In Jagersfontein, there was a disaster that happened last year, September on the 11th, 2022. When that disaster happened, many of us as activists in that community, we saw it almost 5 years ago. We even raised it to say one day that dam is going to burst and is going to create chaos in the community. And it did that chaos because what the company did was that they were buying their way out on issues of compliance. And we strongly believe in some of the compliance issues. They were working with one of our departments, which is water and sanitation, in ensuring that compliance is not enforced properly in that particular operation. But as we speak, the conditions of the people there is almost still the same. The affected families, 169 households were affected. All in all, the affected people or affected community is 399 plus. And not only them affected directly, even me who lives in that community. My house might not be demolished, my car might not have been taken away by the mud, but I'm also affected as a community member of that particular community. It has affected municipal infrastructure, it has affected the roads of the province, it has affected the whole community, it has affected animals, it has disrupted the small-scale farmers, and so on.
Yeah, but my question is, what are you doing as leadership to ensure that people's lives go back to normal?
What we are doing currently is that we have partnered with different social groups like your Gift of the Givers, your Meals on Wheels, social development. We have also partnered with the mine itself because we have said that, look, the disaster that has happened, the mine must take full responsibility in terms of building houses. And as we speak, they've started to build few houses. But what is also happening is that in the affected families, there are also those who have got lawyers as their representatives. And in the process, there are interactions as to what type of compensation must be given to the affected families. So there are those discussions that are still in progress, but we are optimistic that as long as we are there, we are going to ensure that the town is at least back to its former, and that people are back to their normal life and so on. But as we speak, all of the families, they are housed in private homes, not in community halls. They are based in proper homes. But you know, us Africans, all of us, we want to go back into our own houses and so on. But we are saying this year will be a year to reverse the 9/11 disaster.
All right, Tseletsele, thank you so much, sir.
No, thank you very much.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Xolani Tseletsele, the ANC Youth League Chairperson in Free State. Thank you.
Central TV.